of the NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. Brady LaBeouf will win the championship and the race in the Butt Kicker 250.
Keith Bradley gets his second championship on the Friday Night Series with the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series Season 8. This rookie season, he will win the championship for the Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Election night, and it's also race night for the NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. We welcome you to coverage from virtual Sim City. We're at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as we continue along with, of course, season number 3 of the Blanchard's Towing NASRA Xfinity Series. On the NASRA 360 Racing Network, happy November 5th to you and yours. I'm Wesley Outland. We got my buddy Jason Morellas alongside, and Mr., of course, Bigglesworth, Dean Hopton on production in Australia. I'll tell you what, Jason, you got to like Vegas. You got to like this racetrack, 1.5 miles, precision banking. I know I sound like a repeated broken horse when we say that, but honestly, this is one of those types of racetracks that provide that type of excitement, and it's going to be very interesting to see how things shake down here tonight in Sim City.
No, 100% Wesley, man. This is like Talladega meets Bristol.
Yeah.
Fast speeds, close quarter racings. It is insane. My favorite track to race. It's going to be a great show tonight.
Let's take a look at the starting lineup as these drivers get ready to go for tonight's event for the NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. Tonight is the DSR Electric 225, and here's a look at the starting lineup for the first 6 rows. Holden McGill, and of course, Colin Weatherholt will be up on the front row. Octavio Rondoletto will be on the outside with Ryan Johnson. Of course, Tiny Horse for 10 driver Bernard Person. Canadian Dean Doucette will be on row number 3. Bo Tiffany and Peyton Johnson, the inaugural series champion, will start 8th. Phil Pappas and Adam Newton will start in the row 5. And then you got Jason Martin and Jacob Reeves right now. Jason, your first 6 rows, that'll be your top 12.
Yeah, and starting in 13th, here we have Andrew McGonigal. 14th, we got Jonathan Cofield. 15th, Tristan Bruce, followed by Eric. Oh my God, I'm so bad at this. Eric McMillan, Arturo Lampuri, Jonathan Tuckness in 18th, Mark Nelson in 19th, Trevor Williams in 20th, Michael Larch 21st, Matt Cherry 22nd.
To the lineup here as we show Justin White in the top 24 spots. The rest of your groups will find Peyton Hubbard, Lucas Lyons, row 13, Richie Joplin, Darren Bruce, and your top 30 you'll find Austin Evie, Dustin Castile, Cootzillas and Poole make up row number 16, row 17, Greg McConey and Randy McKinney, Red Tucker and Jeffrey Johnson II make up row number 18. Rest of the lineup here. Do we have any more? TJ Moore is the man in race control, and that is your lineup. There you go. There we go. There's your lineup here. Good field of cars for Vegas, Jason.
Yeah, Wesley, let's go ahead and look at that. The first two rows there. You got Holden McGill, Colin Weatherholt, Octavio, and Ryan Johnson. Can you ask for a better front four?
I don't think you can at all, by the way. SDK, we need the numbers of the cars instead of positions, please. Here's a look at the Vegas race analysis tonight. And here's something cool, by the way, Jason, and I want to see how it shakes out. 150 laps, 220 miles. But with that being said, they're going to go stage racing all the way through the stages. Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3. The race to the finish. I mean, this will be interesting to see how it breaks down.
Yeah, and we're throwing back to the old school, right? I mean, this is fantastic, and you know what? It's going to be real interesting, right? Because Vegas is it's a beat 'em bang 'em track, so I really like this call for this race.
No, I mean, as you said, this is the equivalent of basically what would be a, if you will, start to the beginning and to the end of the race. Now, yes, will we still have stages? Will we still have stage points up for the top 10? Yes, but basically you're going to see from lap 1 all the way to lap 150, no stage breaks, no cautions, only if cautions happen on their own. And I'm kind of surprised to see that they're doing this route for sure.
Yeah, and what's interesting is you know, when I talk to some of the drivers, it's about 30, 35 laps maybe to a tank. So it's really going to make, I mean, there's going to be a lot of pit stops.
All right, so we're ready to see what goes on. Here's a look at what's for the week ahead. Don't forget, tomorrow night, we got the NASCAR Cup Series. We've got Goat Locker Racing, Arca Thunder on Thursday and Friday night. Of course, the playoffs begin for Season 9 of the NASCAR C.O.P.S. Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. There's a look at the weather conditions here in Virtual Sim City. A little wind speed at 87 miles an hour, 76 degrees. Pace car scampers onto the pit lane, and here comes the field. Virtual Warlords ready to go. We're green flag, and this is the DSR Electric 220 underway here at Vegas.
And Holden McGill gets a really good start there, but that outside lane typically gets a pretty decent run.
DSR Electric 225 underway, 225 miles, 150 laps as they thunder down the backstretch here at the 1.5 miles on the Nella straightaway here at Vegas, and give that opening lap. Give it to Holden McGill. His Chevrolet clearly up in front. 1 lap down, 149 to go. That means it's a long way to go in this race, though, Steve Chase.
Yeah, and Wesley, we got the 4 heavyweights up here starting 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it's, I don't know, we could ask for a better start to this race to see, you know, how this balances out, what they're going to do, how they race each other.
Just continuing to watch all this continuing to take place right now as Holden McGill still on in front. Watching all these guys work through the corner. Obviously the showman up to third, watching him.
Yeah, and what's going to be interesting to watch here is, you know, these, within the first 15 laps, the tires are going to fall off lap after lap after lap. After lap about 15, that's when they kind of neutralize out. You know, it's pretty tight through 1 and 2. You'll see the cars kind of wash up if you're not letting off early enough. But 3 and 4 is where it gets tricky, right? Because it gets pretty loose.
Continuing to see these guys working their way again down on the front straightaway again. Look at this with McGill up in front. Rondeletto, Weatherholt. Weatherholt's coming off of a win last night, by the way, in the NASCAR DSR Electric Truck Series playoffs. Down the back stretch, McGill quickly up in front, 225 miles. This is a 1.5 mile racetrack, so this will be 150 laps. And again, as we mentioned, they will be broke down into stages, but again, there will be no cautions at the end of the stages. Stage points will be up for grabs, but basically this is like your traditional, original racing background like it was back in the day. As right now, working back into the corner, it's McGill. Rondeletto right there in tow as they work in two. There's Jason.
Yeah, and Wesley, what that should create is a sense of calmness, right? Because you know There's no stage breaks. You know, you got to save your stuff. You got to run it right. And so I'm real interested to see how this plays out. I would love to see this in some of the other series.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. Thanks for y'all for watching. If you're joining us from Vegas on this election night, stepping away from your election coverage in the US of A, and of course, enjoying a little Viva Las Vegas. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much. As Holden McGill is up in front, and he leads the way. Rondeletto and Weatherhold, everybody all single file. And Jason, I like this pattern because everybody, for the most part, is just kind of riding and driving the opening 5 laps of this race.
Yeah, you know, and it sounds funny to say because the top 4 guys are typically the guys always in front, right? But they're also more patient guys in the group, and somehow they're able to stay so fast. But what you're seeing here, what I've been noticing with Rondeletto, he's been, except for that lap, he's been taking kind of a higher entry, and McGill's trying to start to take that away.
McGill up in front. Rondeletto, the showman, of course, that's our buddy from Argentina, sitting there in the number 2 spot now, just got around Weatherholt. And look at now his quest to run down Holden McGill. There's that Chevrolet up in front right now. They battle going to 3.
Yeah, and you see him as he's entering that turn. McGill's staying a lot lower than he is, right? He's kind of halfway off on the top side when he comes into the turn. So if we watch him coming to this turn, coming into turn 1 here, typically he's right there, just staying a little bit higher, trying to get that air on the nose. You know, you don't want to be right behind the guy in front of you because you start losing a front end.
Another lap on the board, working here towards lap number 10 as these drivers race their way again back around the racetrack. Of course, it is McGill in front. Everyone, for the most part, single file, just kind of minding their P's and Q's for the time being. There's the redneck announcer, Jacob Reeves, going after the number 4 machine of Jason Martin. That's to try to get into the top 10. Kind of waiting patiently to make that move right now, Jason, as they work the back straightaway.
Yeah, and you know what? I enjoy seeing this kind of race. You know, it's single file. Guys are going to be impatient, but you're always going to see that action right there around that 10th to 12th place, you know, on the track, because they know, you know, what we know, right? That the points are paid out for 10th. So they want to make sure that they're in position.
Remember, we'll go to lap number 50. Again, this will be broken down into 3 50-lap segments of this race here in the DSR Electric 225. As here they come, working off of turn 4 again. Another lap. By the way, don't forget Cup Series action tomorrow night, the NASRA Cup Series. Make sure you join us 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central.
And
we got a caution on the racetrack. Trouble on the Speedway, as it looks like we got a big stack up. Big number of cars involved just below the start-finish line. Justin White, Rhett Tucker, Brian Chu, and a host of others wrecking here. Whoa, it's even locked up the broadcast there for a second. First caution, Jason, and it is a big one.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow, there it is again. Yeah.
Couldn't rewind that there.
Is that the one? I believe it is.
Yeah, it looks like the 1 just gets a little. Oh, he gets a little loose, slides back up in front of the 3. 3 has nowhere to go, gets into him, and then just chaos.
Just barely got by, didn't he? I mean, the 3 of Tristan Bruce just barely got almost clipped, and he was lucky that he missed it. Watch this again. Look at the 3. Wow. And then nowhere to go for the 45 of Jerry or McConey or any of these other guys that they get slammed into. And another look at it again from up top from the start-finish line tower. There it is. Man, wow.
Yeah, let's jump in the cockpit of the 3 there and just kind of see how. I mean, he really had no option there. I mean, he's doing what he can, and I just think this is a very, very fast track. You know, it's like I said, this is a mixture of almost like Talladega and Bristol, right? Because you're
You're
so
right.
close to one another, and the speeds are so fast, and the way that the track throws you out of four, throws you out of two, like you have so much speed coming out. It's just so hard to react to those things.
Las Vegas Motor Speedway is a 1.5 mile racetrack measured in at 2.4 kilometers. 20 degrees of banking in turns number 1 through 4. 9 degrees of banking on the front straightaway and on the Dallas straightaway as well on the back stretch. And, of course, it has that tri-oval, if you will, on the front straightaway. We're just getting started. First caution of the night here for Xfinity. Nazareth, back with more from Vegas in a moment. Back here at Las Vegas as we have, again, caution out. We're going to step away and take another break, guys. Stay with us as we'll get ready for a restart here from Vegas.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
So we're back here at Las Vegas as we continue to roll into our first caution, or actually second caution of the race. Welcome back to our coverage as we had a yellow flag getting ready to settle us up for the restart. And right now we're going to see the Wheaties colors of Johnson up in front. And Jason, what a throwback that was. Do you remember whenever Dale Earnhardt Sr. drove the Wheaties number 3 car at the All-Star race to Winston?
Maybe one of the best cars he ever drove. That and the chromed out Taz car, right?
Yes, sir. And we go back to the green flag. So Dale Earnhardt Sr. Wheaties car was actually driven at Charlotte Motor Speedway during the Winston of 1995. Okay, yeah, that was when he drove that car. 97. My apologies. It's 97. He drove that car in 97 because he drove the Atlanta Olympics car in 96, and then he drove this the following year, if I remember, Jason. So, yeah, man. Nice looking car there. Can we go back up in front, Dean? Show that beautiful looking race car. And remember to eat your Wheaties, kids. Eat your cereal.
Yeah, and Ryan Johnson has got probably the biggest lead we've seen yet. Tiny horses out there running.
Man, what a beautiful looking race car, too. I mean, that's just a very beautiful fluorescent orange. Just a nice throwback. I mean, I'm looking right now on Google as I call the race with you, Jason, and I'm looking at pictures from the 97 Wheaties car that he drove in the All-Star races. Now you're on board with the Salem, Wisconsin driver down below, driving his way around the racetrack. But, man, you can look at the pictures, and it looks just like the real thing of whenever Earnhardt drove that car. Just so awesome.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful car, but even more beautiful to see a Highline Racing driver back out front. I'm sure the competition's tired of hearing that one, right? I mean, Highline Racing's been on an absolute tear in this series.
Man, happy to see what Highline Racing's been doing, no doubt, man. And I know you, off the record, I know you're in the announcer booth right now, but off the record, I know you got to be happy to see what they've been doing, obviously, too.
Absolutely. You know, it takes a lot in this NASR series to build these teams up, and you know, trying to find the right guys that can run together. And you know, I'm tickled pink to see these guys doing it. But it's been fantastic. Unfortunately, one of my other guys, Justin White, you know, he's out for the race.
Johnson, McGill, Rondeletto, Weatherholt, Cofield, top 5. That's the way they stand right now as Johnson works his way down the back straightaway up in front. Look at the interval now. Half second back on McGill. Weatherholt and Rondeletto battle side by side. Cofield and Johnson right there door to door as well off 4.
Yeah, they're starting to get some battling going on. You know, beginning of this race, we saw a lot of single file racing, and now we're really seeing a lot of guys side by side. Very impressive.
Straight away. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Jason. I'm sorry, buddy.
No, very impressive that Ryan stayed out and is able to keep this kind of lead.
Easily right now up in front, doing exactly what he needs to do as they work their way again off turn 4, back down to the line. Another lap on the board.
Oh, 3 wide, that's a tough spot there. That's really hard to hold.
Somebody
that
better lift. Better lift.
Yeah,
Newton did. Newton quickly on the binders up on the high side. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and one of the hard parts, what makes this race difficult as a driver, is you don't want to lift, right? You lose so much momentum. This is a full momentum track, and you know, it takes a lot of discipline to say, you know what, I'm going to let out. I'm not going to cause a wreck. And I'm going to lose 2, 3, 4 spots. You know, and that's typically what happens here.
Another solid lap.
Oh, that's going to be a turn.
Look out. Whoa, Dean Doucette with a problem. He saves the car.
What a save by Dean Doucette.
Yes, sir. Man.
And I tell you what, these cars are not easy to save. And he got hit in the right rear, man. That thing's yawed out like crazy. That's one heck of a save.
Back into the corner again. Here we go now. Off of 2. Look at McGill. McGill right there, holding on to that line. And here you see now Rondeletto. There goes Weatherholt on the inside. The driver out of Monticello, Indiana, the Hoosier State. Nice looking race car too. There, Jason, green car, green and black car. I like the colors.
Oh yeah, he's going with those HLR colors. I like it. Let's go ahead and let's jump on board with Ryan Johnson. Let's take a lap around this place.
On board with the Tiny Horse and the Wheaties number 38 up in front. Here's a lap. Give us a lap around the racetrack.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so you're full throttle coming down here. You want to come down here close to the bottom of the apron. You're going to drift back up here to the top of the wall. You want to take a nice shallow entrance, letting off the throttle. You want to just touch that line through the center of the turn. coming straight back up to the wall, full throttle down this backstretch. This backstretch is quick. Again, letting out just a hair just to get that car turned down to the center, just getting back down to the bottom, pushing right back up to the wall. Once you get to that wall, you're going to start coming back down to the center, and that is a fast lap around this track.
And you get around this place really, really quickly. Let's stay with them another lap, guys. Watch Ryan Johnson and Jason. Go back on the camera, if you will, Dean. What's it like, the transition on the wheel? Watch him on camera. If we can pull him back up again, pull him back up on camera. Jason, let's pick him up this lap and kind of explain to our audience the way he's kind of, if you will, it looks like he's at 9-3 with the wheel.
Yeah, so Ryan's probably running a pretty decent offset. If you look, we've talked about this before in past races where, you see that center stripe, that's your center line, right? And his center line is really always pushed over to the left, which tells me he's probably running a little bit of a negative offset, maybe close to negative, which is keeping him off that wall here. Everybody's got different settings, but me personally, I like to run closer to 0, and it helps me always kind of keep left off that wall. Sometimes you run that positive offset, it really wants to push you up against the wall.
And of course, you're looking at that VR headset with Ryan Johnson on the bottom right. That's the way he's wheeling and dealing around here. And the Venom colors, remember, got the Venom helmet on the number 38. The tiny horse, but look at that gaggle of traffic. Jason right behind him. He's got a nice, comfortable lead, 2 seconds back, but look behind that. There's a storm brewing here as we move in to lap number 30 here in stage 1 of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a fast group of guys here, so there's not going to be any easy passes here, right? We've seen Ronadetto be super fast. Obviously, we've seen Weatherholt just absolutely torch Nazara. This is fun to watch these top tier drivers go at it.
Another solid lap on the racetrack. Again, is Johnson in the lead, holds on to that top spot. Rondaletto, Weatherholt, that's the way they are. 1, 2, and 3. McGill, Cofield, your top 5 is, of course, you see up on the top right, Premier Racing Setups. Want to say a big thank you as we go side by side, as we still stay with you for the racing coverage to Premier Racing Setups. Of course, they're proud to be an official partner of the North American Sim Racing Association, sanctioning bodies of iRacing. When you need a setup, whether it's for eNASCAR, for NASRA, dirt, pavement, you name it, from a late model, a Cup car, an Next-Gen car, even a sprint car, modified, let Premier Racing Setups take care of you and helping you out. Of course, mention NASRA, and you get 15% off of your order at checkout, and another 15% goes towards helping, yes, the North American Sim Racing Association. Again, that is Premier Racing Setups, and we thank them, Jason, for their business. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, Wesley, and tell you what, that setup is working well for Ryan Johnson. He's out to a 2.1 second lead. You see that little dot way out in front? That is Ryan Johnson just running away with this thing.
Running away with it, doing exactly what they need to do, and obviously they're hitting their marks perfectly as another lap goes on the board here at Virtual Las Vegas. Johnson up in front. Remember, just like a regular race, we're going to go right into Glass Mechanics Stage 2, green flag. And listen to me here. Vegas is one of those places we saw where we had a big multi-car crash in the opening 15 laps of the race, Jason, and then we see now a long green flag run. This track could possibly prevent it.
No, we got a caution. We got a good one.
Damn soon. We got a caution out.
Yeah, that's going to be right around Phil Pappas if we want to jump on board with the 88.
Bernard Person, guys, in the number 8 machine in trouble on the front straightaway. So there he is into the grass.
Yeah, that's going to be right there around Phil Parsons in the 88.
You mean Bernard Bernard Person? Caution out. Let's see what happened here to Bernard Person. Phil Pappas maybe around there as well. Let's see the replay. All right, Jason, what we got, boss? Right there. Oh, there it is. Bucky's!
Yeah, that looked like a case of somebody thinking they're clear and they're not. He just kind of starts drifting up the track there, and And Phil, he's staying in the throttle. He's doing what he's supposed to do. You're running that top lane. You're getting so much momentum. And the 8 I think he thinks he's clear and comes up and got the short end.
Another caution. Some drivers are coming down pit lane. Obviously, Bernard Person, his Cape Coral entry, Toyota. Anybody else coming down pit road? Yes, the survey says yes. 4 new freshies and giving it some nice, delicious Sunoco fuel in the fuel tanks here as they come down pit roads, Jason.
Yeah, I'm sitting there watching that replay, and Jacob Reeves, hell of a job of missing that wreck, man. I don't know how you got out of that one. Yes, this is one of my. There's a very few tracks that have a good pit road where you get a good launch, and you see Ryan Johnson gets a great launch out. I mean, he beats them by a ton. I mean, hell of a pit stop for him there.
Under caution, third one of the night here at Vegas. We'll step away. We're back with more in just a moment.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
We're back here, of course, at virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway. If people only knew our conversations when the mics were on commercial break, of course, as we go under yellow flag, Phil Pappas on pit road. Here's a look at a Pulse Popper instant replay of why, Jason, we're under caution again. Look at the top left.
Yeah, and as our buddy Jacob Reeves would say, we got beef.
We got beef.
We got the 88 and the 8 getting it together. We got beef.
Jason Morales with his best impersonation and rendition of Mr. Jacob Reeves. There you go. Jacob Reeves, by the way, in 13th right now on the racetrack, watching him.
Man, I tell you what, I don't think we have time to go back to that replay, but Jacob did a heck of a job missing that wreck. I mean, that was right in front of him, right on his lap, comes down below the apron onto the grass. It was, like I said, these things happen so fast at this track. It's good to see Jacob not get involved in another wreck, right? I feel his pain. I've been involved in plenty.
Person still getting work done. Screaming Eagles Toyota getting on pit lane. There's also, obviously, the Michael Larch entry. Richie Joplin, just some of the drivers that are either on the damaged vehicle policy clock to fix damage or they're out of it.
And poor Richie Joplin, man, he had nowhere to go in that instance, right? The wreck just happened in front of him. You can see him get on the brakes, and man, that's horrible, especially a track like this where aero is so important. He tries to get on the brakes, gets in the back of the wreck, and now you're down the pit road.
Here's a look at, obviously, the upcoming schedule tomorrow night. Don't forget, we got coverage for you with the NASRA Cup Series. Man, I'm loving that series, man. Aren't you, Jason? You been able to check it out yet?
Yeah, I watch all the series. I love NASRA. It's such great racing, top talent. I mean, it doesn't matter what series you're in. It's so fun to watch.
There we go. I'm looking at some of the upcoming schedule. And by the way, tomorrow night, I want to let everybody know tomorrow night we'll have coverage, and we got a caution. Under caution? Are you serious? They're crashing under yellow flag? Holy camole, they're crashing under yellow. I missed it. It's right here. It's the guy right here on the top in the red and the red and the white right here. Was it the 11?
Oh,
Whoa!
wow.
Castile into the
Oh,
30. What
oh.
the hell? There happens the 11. There it is. Nowhere to go. Castile into the 11, and the 9 kind of got into him. I don't know if it was intentional there, Jason. What do you think?
Yeah, don't ask me to break that one down. That was funky. Oh no, that's
The first bump might have been accidental. The second one was like, "Hey man, what the hell were you doing to me?"
yeah. The second one looked like a brake check. Like, what's going on? And then, oh shit. Oh,
Yeah.
let me get fine.
Beep, 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 beep. It was. By the way, don't forget tomorrow night we're in Kansas. Goat Locker Racing, of course, will be at Richmond, and the playoffs begin Friday night from Chicagoland. There you go. There's your course, your schedule. Next week we're going to be at Talladega. Boy, that'll be wild, Jason. Right? Talladega Super Speedway.
Yeah, you know, and these cars are so fun to drive on the super speedways because as they burn off fuel, they get real loose, right? So the pushing just gets way different. So I may have to run this one next Tuesday. You may be on your own.
You better not do that to me. Oh, he likes running in the booth. I got it. Yeah, Dean will jump in and join us on commentary. Maybe we can grab somebody probably here and join us. So here we go. Let's look at the weather conditions, by the way, up top. So what is that? 13, 14, 15, 1600 hours. So that's about 419 in the afternoon. There you go. 76 degrees on a November afternoon. Weather hold up in front, but for how long? Johnson has got a really, really good strong car here, Jason, as we're closing to the end of stage number 1 with under 10 to go.
Yeah, and we'll see. We'll see if he can get the same kind of start there. But yeah, let's pull Jacob Reeves in if we can to see how the heck he missed that wreck.
Hey, real quickly before we do that, let me grab him and do our best impersonation. Let me find him. Where's Jacob? I don't see him. I don't see Jacob Reeves. Oh, Jacob Reeves, redneck announcer. I can't move him, guys. I just can't.
No, he blocked us.
The hell I can't. I got him now. Thank you. Let's check in and see if we got any beef with some of the things that are going on the racetrack. And there's my buddy Jacob Reeves. Jacob, what you think out there so far at Vegas?
I'm just happy I didn't fall asleep earlier and take me a good nap, so I'm actually wide awake on this one. But we're getting ready to rock and roll. Ain't no beef out here. There's a couple guys a little bit upset back there. I think they had a little run-in, trying to catch back up. But we're gonna try to get us something right here.
Are you better, well rested than you were yesterday?
Absolutely, and we're getting ready to try to see if we can take this 57 to the front.
All right, well, in Jason Morella's best impersonation of Jacob Reeves, he's going to call the restart. Jason, they're coming to green, buddy.
Hey, we're coming to green here, and we got Ryan Johnson out to the big lead.
We'll see what happens is they'll dive off into the corner, and man, he shuts the damn door on that guy. He didn't let him get nowhere on the bottom of the racetrack there. So, Jacob, take care, buddy. We'll see you, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Good job, Jason. That was pretty good.
Door banging download, by the way, on all podcast platforms and outlets. And we always enjoy cutting up with our buddy Jacob Reeves. Check him out as well. Mission 1 Esports, and the race rolls on. Johnson up in front, under 10 laps to go. And, boy, there he is again. I love that Wheaties car. Looking good as he goes back into the corner into 1.
Yeah, and what we see now is Jonathan Cofield coming up in the second, right? So this is one of those tracks. This place, Kansas, the third place car has got such a huge advantage, because they're able to get that big read on the start, and then they get a good draft down the backstretch. So I mean, typically if you're in third, you're gonna get the second. Now Colin Weatherholt says, I don't know, buddy, I'm about to take that back. And we're going to go ahead and call this a 1-2-3 Highline Racing run in here.
My mic quit working.
So we know Ryan Johnson, Weatherholt, they run for Highline Racing here in this Tuesday night series. And oh, look at this! Oh, that is a nasty little hit. we stay green as we come down the front stretch. Still got Ryan Johnson with a nice, decent lead over Colin Weatherholt. Should be about 5 to go in the stage here as we continue down and heading into turn 3 and 4. Ryan Johnson maintaining that lead. Colin Weatherholt following closely behind, followed by Jonathan Cofield and Lampardi. And we see back here around third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and we've started getting some two-wide racing going. Oh, got him real loose here. Bo Tiffany, man, that was just got in the back there of the 15 and got him pretty loose there. Now we see Tristan Bruce, who was involved in that little mix-up earlier, starting to stay up front. And we see Lampardi just trying to make the move. Coming up high, going down back low. Watching him come up here. And Jonathan Cofield with a really nice run. Rondoletto, look at this line Rondoletto's running. He's running that high line. He's probably the only guy that so far has done that, but you see that huge run he's getting, and blocked. Big block by Tristan Bruce there. We'll see if Rondoletto comes back up here to the high side. This time he's going to stay low. Looks like Tristan Bruce tried to take that line away from him, which is a very helpful tactic here at this racetrack. And another block. Wow, they are getting aggressive here.
Hey guys, can you hear me now? Jason, can you hear me? My mic is acting up. I'm sorry. So,
yeah,
all right.
Got some crazy action going on here with them.
Yeah, I just went ahead and made a mic change. Well, so we're moving into the final lap of stage number 1. Johnson up in front, Weatherholt is second. Look at this big scatter of traffic behind them, with now Lampardi, the Butcher, McGill in that mix, and that's all for stage points. Remember,
we got one in the wall.
They will race into stage 2, presented by Glass Mechanic, and there will be no caution, Jason, as they work off turn 4.
Yeah, Wesley and Business has picked up as we're 3 wide again. Yeah, these guys are starting to push real hard. A lot different than stage 1.
Oh yes. And remember, as it stands right now, Johnson will lock up again stage number 1. We move into stage number 2. It will be stage 2, another 50 laps. It is presented by the Glass Mechanic. And remember, we go green flag right into stage number 3. If you will, this is the equivalent of basically a straight green to checker race. Even though we got stages and we're promoting the stages, if you will, Jason, there's no yellow flag, so it's kind of a start-finish race point.
Yeah, like I said at the beginning of the race, right? We're old school racing. You know, we're going straight through here, and I am enjoying watching this race here between Rondoletto and Tristan Bruce. And Rondoletto he continues to change his lineup. He goes high, he goes low, he goes high, he goes low. And Tristan's been able to hold him off, but that looks like that fight is going to be over here pretty soon.
Johnson in the lead. There's, of course, look at this battle now. There's the 48. Rondoletto, the showman, battling now with the 3 of Bruce. Remember, Bruce had a problem earlier in the FanDuel Sports Network entry. Now he's right back up there in the front again. They're in 3, Jason.
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's been a back-and-forth battle. Rondoletto will show high. He'll go high for a few laps, and then Tristan does a good job of blocking that run, and then Rondoletto will try to go low, and what we just saw there, Tristan Bruce will go high, and they just cannot. Rondoletto can't get by him. You know, he's doing a good job. We're going to see Tristan Bruce come back up here and block, and I'm sure there's some Tristan Bruce fans that are loving watching this. And on the flip side there, we probably have some Rondoletto fans that are saying, hey, God, let him by. There we have another caution here. Oh, Phil Papp is in that one again.
Phil Papp is in trouble. We have a caution, and I'm coughing.
Yeah, and that's going to be between Phil Pappas and Rhett Tucker, I believe, here. So between the 88 and the 99, double number trouble.
Yeah, oh my goodness! Save me, Jason! Wow. Yeah, there's a replay.
Yeah, it looks like, at least in my opinion here, it looks like Rhett's holding his line there, and I think Phil expects him to be a little bit higher on the track, and Phil's just coming through the front stretch, coming up to his spot, and I just didn't realize that the 99 was that low, and turns around, goes, and who was that? Who was that? That just was the innocent bystander. That's usually what happens to me.
So we have cars coming down pit road now. Sorry, Jason, man, I was trying to take a bite of some ribs, and man, it was too damn hot and was choking on them. So, anyhow, got cars on pit road now as we see Ryan Johnson, a whole host of others. Hey, remember something else we haven't really talked about as well? Dust into dawn. They're going to race into night here. So right now, nightfall settling in. They'll race into the evening, and it will be dark when this race is finished. But right now, we're seeing pit stops. And Jason, you ran these races as well as we see these guys exiting off pit road. This is something we definitely need to keep an eye on, because as we transition from the day into the nightfall into solid night conditions, it could really change the car as well.
No, absolutely right. You're going to have more grip, but that also means that as the run goes on, the car is going to get tighter. And we see it's going to be a big shakeup at the front. Ryan Johnson's been dominating this race. He decides to take 4 tires there, and looks like he's going to come back out pretty far back into the field.
All right, so we're in stage 2. This will take us all the way to lap number 100. You see, we'll go into green flag conditions to the finish of this race. Lap 75 will be halfway. We're working our 4th Serve Pro caution of the night. We're in the Glass Mechanics stage number 2, and we will step away with more from Vegas when we come back.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's magical creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations.
We're back here at virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Election night rolls on in the US of A. Race night rolls on here at Vegas as well for Nazareth. And right now, the Butcher from Argentina, Jason, on the round of pit stops, is now the new leader in the 91.
Yeah, we had several guys that looked like they just took fuel there, fuel only. So we see that our race leader previously is back in 13th, 14th position. So that tells you how many guys stayed out and just took fuel only. But remember, Ryan Johnson did that earlier in the race. right? So he saved a set of tires. He took that set now. So it's going to be fun to watch him come through this front of the field right now.
The field is down on the back straightaway. Lights are off. They are side by side. Lamperti, McGill on the front row. Rondoletto as well as Cofield. Here's something to think about. You got the Argentinians right there on row 1 and row 2 inside. Cofield right there as well as these other guys, including the 15 machine. Got a solid run for him as Peyton Johnson. Ready to bring the field back to the Geico restart zone. It is Glass Mechanics stage number 2, lap number 59 at the line. Green flag back out here at Las Vegas when they come back to the box right about now. Perfect. Boy, I'll tell you what, Jason, they carried that out of the restart zone almost as a snail's pace to the firebox at the start-finish line.
Yeah, and that's probably those old tires, right? You want to make sure you're not spinning them and causing a big stack up.
Turn 2 back straightaway. Lamperti, Rondoletto, Argentina up in front. McGill in South Carolina. Cofield there. Mumford, Alabama driver. Darren Bruce as well in the 5. All that's going on. They work their way back to the start-finish line.
Yeah, and Ryan Johnson already up to 6th. I mean, we talked about him starting 12th, 13th, and one lap in, he's up to 6th.
Got to remember how important it is for these guys to work their way. Lamperti, Rondoletto, Cofield, McGill, Bruce. Right now, everyone is all single file. Got to be patient. Got to be definitely not reckless, and you got to find the right time to make these moves on these drivers for sure as well.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny as you watch these races, you end up seeing that Lamperti and Rondoletto, they have good plans because they're always running together right at the front, don't they?
Look at this now. Hey, buddy, smile. You're on camera.
Sheer focus. That is sheer focus. Another Highline Racing driver there. It's good to see another guy up there in the top 15.
Back straight away. Lamperti, Rondoletto, Cofield, McGill, Bruce, top 5, single file. Got a couple of cars scattering on the bottom. 3 wide as they work off 4 and they save it in the corner. Wow, Jason, unbelievable.
Yeah, and just watching, Ryan Johnson here, and what makes him so good, right? He has fresher tires than all these guys in front of him, but he's being patient. It's something that most of us just can't do, and it's going to pay off in about 10 laps, right? So just keep watching him and watch him methodically come through the field. I mean, it's fun to watch.
They work their way back with Lamperti, the butcher, up in front as the 91 leads the way. It is Rondoletto, Cofield, McGill as the laps wind down. The leader pulls away one more time as they dive off into 1 and 2. Lamperti up in front. There's that interval. He's even pulling away from his own teammate going back into 2.
Yeah, so now we've seen this kind of over and over again at this point, right? Is that the leader's able to get out to a big lead. Why is that? The clean air. The clean air makes a huge difference on the way you can get through the turns.
Lamperti in the lead. You're listening to that virtual thundering herd as Jason and I rest our tones, if you will, for just a moment. They work their way around the racetrack. We're watching Lamperti, but behind them there is a big logjam of traffic led by Rondoletto, Johnson, Cofield, Weatherholt back up in this mix as well, and we're about to try to stack them up 3 wide again, going down the Nellis straightaway to 3.
Yeah, and we're starting to see those tires make that difference, right? Ryan Johnson's going to get a pretty fantastic run coming here to the outside. He's going to be able to clear him pretty easily. You can see Colin Weatherholt follow him through. They should be able to get by Radoletto there pretty easily. But he's fighting back pretty hard in the bottom. Oh, there's cars. Yeah, there's cars everywhere. But we stay. Oh, big wreck in the wall. This may stay green.
Car in the wall, Andrew McGronigal's car, and we do not see a Serve Pro caution. We will stay under green flag conditions.
Yeah, and McGronigal broke a right front steering arm there. I mean, anytime you see that car hit the wall and keep hitting it back and forth as it stays up, that's, oh, look at that. It just gets loose. And you see this, how it keeps bouncing back up against the wall. And you'll see it here as it gets in the turn, just when your steering goes out, and you break that right front arm, there's nothing you can do. It's just going to keep bouncing, and your wheel is turned all the way to, about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So frustrating. Too bad for him. But we have a new leader, Ryan Johnson,
we still
back
stay
to the front.
green. And remember, amongst all this that happened, we still stayed green, Jason. So there's no yellow flag.
Yeah, and the car's not blocking the track. It didn't come to a 45-degree turn, and he was able to probably get it down to the bottom of the track and exit the track. But we're going to watch here as Ryan on the fresh tires again. Him and Colin were so patient getting through the traffic. 10 laps in, that's when those tires make a huge difference. So, these two are they're gonna run away, pretty far from this front pack. And as we go on, same old story, right? Ryan Johnson back to the front.
I'm right here with you guys as right now we're watching Johnson. I'm sorry, I was looking at some stats. And no, I'm looking at NASRA stats, buddy. I'm looking at, thanks to simracerhub.com, looking at some statistics on these guys. And obviously as we move into Talladega next week, Sonoma, remember, it's very simple. You got to win in this series. And as I was looking at some of the previous races, I was looking at past events for Ryan Johnson at Vegas, and he does really, really well here. His boy, Lucas Lyons, gives us a scare on the bottom of the apron of the Cofield 18 Chevrolet. But what I was going to say, though, Jason, is that, yes, Ryan Johnson has a pretty good percentage racing here at Vegas.
Yeah, and you know what? This is there looks like there's a wreck. Oh, just back behind there. No caution yet, but in the inside wall, that may bring out a caution.
He's out of the groove, though. He's on the inside, so it might not trigger a yellow flag. We'll find out as you see the contact. There's the yellow flag. It's Tucker. Tiffany Bruce was right there as well. Tristan Bruce. And another caution comes out yet again.
Yeah, and just preliminarily, it looks like it was kind of a check up there. I've got to see what happened here. Tristan Bruce gets a little loose. Looks like it makes Rhett Tucker get a little nervous there. What happened in front of him, has to check up, and then he gets hit from behind. It's a bang play.
Rhett Tucker on pit road, the 99. Will he put the malware bites entry forward on pit lane? I think he will.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Comes out again.
Yeah, that's for the viewers that aren't familiar with the way these things work. You see that car smoking like that. We do not have fast repairs here at Nazareth, so he's gonna have to get down there, get that engine repaired. Yeah, it's likely gonna be a 8 to 10 minute minimum, probably require damage repair to get that engine repaired. But yeah, he's got some big problems there.
Ryan Johnson, the tiny horse. We're going to try to snag him for an interview when we come back from Vegas. Stay with us. And by the way, we're halfway.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Getting ready for this field to come back to green flag, and we're going to try to snag our buddy, the tiny horse, Ryan Johnson, get his take of how things are going so far here. I love Ryan Johnson. Can we put him on camera as well, Dean? I love Ryan, the Wheaties Earnhardt Senior throwback colors, man. What a good run.
Yeah, it's been pretty good so far. Kyle and I are a little off strategy here, so it's going to be an interesting second stage here. I don't know what's going to happen, but I think it might get a little crazy.
I mean, for the most part, it's been, a fairly clean race, and your car's been, for the most part, up in front easily, too.
Yeah, I found out pretty quickly the clean air is really nice. So I tried to keep it after I got a whiff of it. Yeah, I got a little throwback going on tonight. I know you mentioned my paint last week, and I'll have those out also in sometime this season. So don't be too disappointed.
I do like this paint scheme, though. Are you going to try to run it again, or is it just for a one-off race tonight?
I'll probably run it again. I like orange.
Wesley, I'll tell you what I like is that Spaceballs helmet he's got going on for the race. That thing's fantastic.
Is that Spaceballs? Is that what is that?
My helmet in iRacing?
Yeah, no, the one you got in your VR set. You know, for the older cast that seen Spaceballs.
Yeah.
It looks nice and big. All right, Ryan, you've looked good, man. Go get them. You guys have been killing it this year. Proud of y'all, what you're doing. So keep it up.
I appreciate it, man.
There you go. Another Highline Racing driver having a solid run. That's Ryan Johnson as we get ready. Of course, he won stage 1. We're halfway through the race, working lap number 79 when they come back to the Geico restart zone, and we are back to racing here at Vegas. It's still a long way to go at that, Jason.
Yeah, and we'll see again. You know, we talked about that third place car, the advantage they have. So let's see if Colin Weatherholt can take advantage of that. Typically, you get a really good pull right here. You get to the inside just like you did. I mean, that is one of the advantages of starting third here. And Ryan's gonna help him push down the backstretch there. But now we see Lampardi. Heck of a rev. Lampardi's got the help from his teammate.
A couple of Argentinians up there in the front, as Jason mentioned, for Flaming Karma Racing. Latoro and Octavio, Lamperti, Rondoletto, the Butcher and the Showman right there up in front. Weatherholt watches on and sees all of this taking place. There goes Johnson as well. We just spoke to him. And McGill and Bruce going at it behind the 38 to go to 3.
Yeah, and McGill saying, hey boys, don't forget about me.
Back to the corner again. Look at now inside. Look at Darren Bruce. Hiddenite, North Carolina driver on the bottom, battling here with these other cars.
And what a cool camera angle, right? When you start panning around, you know, you get a feel of just how close these guys are racing next to each other.
You have the Butcher and the Showman in 1 and 2, but there is a big log jam gaggle of traffic behind them as they try to go 3 wide again. McConey down to the bottom. The 15 on that mix as well. This is, of course, whoa! There he goes.
Caution, yellow.
Around goes the 12, and I had a feeling that was going to happen. Caution out. And everybody missed him, Jason. Everybody missed the 12.
Yeah.
And there's Greg McConey. Yeah, buddy, take a breath. Woo!
Yeah, a little bit different look this time, right?
We can all smile now. We're okay. Pulse Popper, instant replay. Here's a look at what happened.
Oh yeah, it just looks like the 15 comes down, gets the front end of the 12 there, and how did Ryan say? He just misses Ryan, and poor Jacob. Jacob gets a little bit on the rear end.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of damage I thought I saw on the 57. Yeah. Not much though.
So the problem there is if that got any of the right rear of Jacob Reeves, is these cars, if that right rear sticks up at all in your spoiler, these things get super tight. And so that could be a big problem for him. This track's already going to start getting tighter and tighter.
Some drivers coming down the pit lane, not all, but a good majority of them are coming down.
Yeah, so we're seeing the guys that stayed out on that last caution come down, and it's 6 laps of green flag racing, but they're gonna go. That looked like it was just fuel, so they're still saving their tires. So we got a lot of different strategies going, and I think this is product of this full green flag race, right? Quote unquote full green flag race. So there's no caution stages.
Yeah, by the way, don't forget again, we're going to go all the way to lap 100, and Lamperti, I think. I wonder if he got a penalty. We'll try to sort it out. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more from Vegas. CM City rolls on to the second half of the DSR Electric 225.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
McGill up in front as we roll into, of course, the continuation of the race here at Vegas. It's been a little caution filled. Not that big of a wreck fest, if you will, Jason, but I mean it has been rather interesting.
Yeah, for a Vegas race, it's been pretty good. This again, broken record. It's Talladega meets Bristol. It's close racing, super fast. It's kind of product of the racing. So I think it's been a pretty darn good race. And we've had, you look at the leaders we've had. There's been the fast guys just keep switching it up. Ryan's dominated a lot of the race, but we've also had, several other guys that have led the thing.
Let's give you your top 10 right now as it stands as we approach lap number 87 of this race. We are in stage 2 presented by the Glass Mechanic. There he is. There's the leader in the flaming 21 colors, the South Carolinian of the Holden McGill entry. There you see Darren Bruce. He's in second for the Screaming Eagles. In third, of course, is Mr. Peyton Johnson. Season 1 champ, might I add. Tristan Bruce in the FanDuel machine. He's fourth. Fifth is the 11 of Eric McMillian on the 55. Good to see him. New driver, I think. I've never heard of him. Along with Octavio Rondeletto, the showman, the Argentinian driver, followed by Cofield from Alabama, the 58. And you got Lucas Lyons. And that, of course, is with Ryan Johnson, 9th in the 38. Colin Weatherholt, your top 10. And we'll get ready, Jason, for another restart. Here they come.
Yeah, and again, another broken record moment. Watch that car in third place. I mean, to me, that is that's the key here. Watch that car in third, see what happens. You see a good push. That leader's going to get out. He's probably going to go low, try to take that bottom side.
Still a long way to go here in the DSR Electric 225 from, again, virtual iRacing Las Vegas Motor Speedway. They roll the dice and the race rolls on, and it's not done yet. Be interested to see what happens here.
Yeah, and Rondeletto, again, he's one of the only guys, and I feel like I've said this a few times that, not just here, but in multiple tracks, he likes that top side. And you see him start rolling that top, and he got a block there, but he's doing a really good job of rolling this top. And we're about to be 3 wide coming out of this turn. Oh, maybe not.
3 wide, hold it together, guys. Whoa, up high. Boy, Johnson, that's Peyton Johnson, really loose a moment ago, and big save by Rondeletto and Bruce and others to back away to keep the 15 from spinning.
Yeah, and Peyton's not a guy that will just let you by, right? You're going to have to earn your pass by Peyton Johnson. He is the Season 1 champ, right, if we remember correctly, and this Xfinity Series, and he's not going to be an easy guy to pass.
Yeah, there's only 2 champions we had, of course. Peyton Johnson, the inaugural series champion, and of course, the last time we raced in Season 2, it was Virginia's Ross Tatum that was able to pull it off. So right now, we're watching all of this going on, and the race happens here. Still a long way to go.
Rondeletto's got the position now, so we'll see if he's able to hold that high line. We've seen him be able to really send it in and get a great run out. So let's see if he can hold it here, coming out of 3 and 4. Get that draft down the front stretch off the 14. And he should be able to finish this pass coming out of 2. out of turn 1 and 2. You see it right there.
And you notice also that nightfall is settling in too. Approaching 2/3 of the way through. Remember, we will race into that third stage under green flag conditions. And, I like this, Jason, because we've already had enough caution flags tonight.
In the wall.
Look at this. Wow, Bruce almost in the wall. Did tag the wall. Tried to make his run down to McGill. He couldn't get him.
Yeah, and these right sides on these cars are, they're pretty sturdy. So with the Xfinity cars, you get that wall, and it's a little bit more forgiving than it is in the trucks.
We need some singing, Dean. Dean, you want to sing a song? What do you want to sing, buddy? Round and round? No, we did round and round last night.
I could sing you a song. But
sing a song. Sing a song of songs.
I will in the future. How's that, gentlemen? Maybe
Jason.
some Christmas carols or something like that. We'll sing it as we get.
No one wants to hear no damn Christmas music. Bah humbug. Ugh. Let's cut the turkey first, right?
Oh,
Happy
the
Turkey
weather
Burger Day.
outside is frightening.
Boys, I'm telling you what, we're about to have a 3-car battle for the front. And they're in the wall. And Rob Deletto's got to make it a sudden move. You see if he's going to get this pass on the bottom.
He made it. Moved to the second.
And here we go. He's got the second. And here we go. He's got the second. And again, he's been able to run this high side that nobody else is doing yet. And I'm surprised that we've not seen anybody else go up to that high side watching what he's doing.
By the way, the broadcast is buffering on our apologies on that, folks. We're trying our best to try to work on it We're trying to work on it and fix it. Right now, it's just not being our friend right now. Last item's perfect.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're fixing to have a fight for the lead in the next 2 laps. Ron Deletto is really moving.
There you go.
And again, you see him. Ryan Johnson talked about what clean air means. And, earlier we talked about, just him offsetting the car in front of him to make sure he has that clean air. That really helps you corner, and he's doing it again. And you see him to that top side, keeping that clean air on it. He's going to have a huge run coming out of this turn. Probably going to get within about 2 car lengths as he enters the turn. Probably go back to the top side. We'll see if Holden McGill comes up and blocks that top run.
Quickly approaching lap 100, no doubt as well, with McGill in front. Ron Deletto in second. Bruce Johnson, top 5 with Bruce as well. That's Darren Bruce in the 14. Tristan Bruce in the 3. As they are closing in on lap 100. This race flying by rather quickly. McGill continuing to hit his mark stride for stride.
Ron Deletto in the wall.
Wow. Hold on to it, Ron Deletto.
Again,
save it.
That shows you what happened there, right? He got right up onto the tail of McGill. He loses the nose and goes up in the wall. Like that, it's so important to have that clean air on your nose.
So remember, this will take us to the final lap of stage number 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic. There will not be a stage break. Remember, they will race on into stage number 3 and take us to the finish as we got 50 laps to go when they come back to the line. I'm sorry, we got some buffering issues, guys. We're trying to work on it, I promise you. As the laps wind down, Holden McGill up in front. He'll come to the line. He will win stage number 2. He'll join Ryan Johnson, who won stage 1. And by the way, we now move and race into Jason stage 3.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm just looking at the intervals. This is the closest we've had, between the top 5, top 6 all race. They're within a second of each other from what, first to 6th. And 7th is just back of that. So we're open for business here.
McGill up in front, the number 21 machine. There he is, leading the way. Everybody, we're gonna step away very quickly to try to make some change here for our broadcast. We will come back and be with you for Vegas in just a moment. Stay with us. McGill still continuing to lead. Hopefully our adjustment fixed things. Welcome back to our coverage. And Jason, while the race for the voting tonight goes on, the race for the finish of this race goes on as well here for NASRA.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, look who's coming again. Second place, Ryan Johnson. They just cannot get rid of this dude, right? He just keeps coming and keeps coming. He was back there in 9th or 10th place. I don't know when that restart happened, but it's just, dude's just consistent.
So look at this now. McGill getting some company because here comes Ryan Johnson. What a strong looking car, man. And I'll tell you what, I'd have to give a best appearing car to that guy's car right there, man. It just looks so sharp, glistening off of the virtual night lights here at Vegas, if you will, as they stream by into the corner. I just love it. It looks good.
Yeah, I mean, right now you're looking at, he's already about catching him by about a 10th already in this lap. It's going to be about a 10th and a half by the time we get to the line.
McGill back off the tri-oval, back to the line. There you see him. There is, of course, Johnson. My question is this. Can they go the distance to the race, Jason? Or are they going to have to pit again, buddy? What do you think?
No, they're definitely going to have to pit again. It's about 30 to 33 laps per tank. So it's definitely going to be at least one more pit stop.
We have made an adjustment on our broadcast YouTube feed. Hopefully that fixed it and got us back up and going again. So thanks again. Here's a look at some of the best lap times of the race so far. There you see, 34.99. And if you're looking at the scoring ticker, you're looking at the most recent lap just turned.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson is on the move. Holden McGill has got to be looking in his mirror going, are you kidding me, man? I thought you were way back there. Where'd you come from?
It's the NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series at tonight's DSR Electric 225 from Las Vegas. Don't forget, tomorrow night, we've got Cup racing from Kansas. Richmond will have short track racing for the Thursday night, Goat Locker Racing Arca Thunder, and then Friday night, Chicagoland Speedway for the NASRA C.O.P.S Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series opening round playoff race. That's what's going on.
So interesting there, right, Wesley, is it was about 2.5 tenths when that lap started, and Ryan Johnson barely gained any. Again, dead horse. It's that clean air. He gets up on the tail and just it changes things. We'll see if he's able to get it to run up here and dive under, but it's such an advantage to have that clean air. And we're going to see what this lap traffic plays into it. If I'm Ryan Johnson's probably going to come up here and try to get a little bit of a pull off. I guess not. He's going to stay low. Come through the bottom of the turn. Now, this is not the exit that Ryan wants. Nor McGill. So you see McGill had to stay low there to avoid that lap car, and that gave Ryan a pretty good pull because McGill couldn't get up to the top of the wall.
McGill, Johnson, Rondeletto, Cofield, Johnson, top 5. They're all single file. We are in the third and final stage of the DSR Electric 225. This race rolls on as they go for the lead now into turn 3. McGill and Johnson is there on the outside off 4.
Oh, and McGill is getting to pit road.
Boy, you better slow
Crucial
down.
pit, crucial
Man,
pit.
you better slow down. Don't want to get busted for speeding on pit road right now.
Absolutely not. And the problem is you get on brakes like that, your tires get slick. So, hopefully he's able to get in his box nice and clean. But I think that Ryan's going to be able to run probably about 10 to 12 more laps. He pitted that last time, so a lot of different strategies going on right now. So we're going to see how this thing plays out. I mean, just look at that. Look at that pit chart. I mean, it's all over the place, and I love that this thing is a green flag race because I just think it creates so much different options, to what you want to do. But Ryan's got clean air, so let's we'll see what kind of lap times he can put down, and I'd be curious to see what his laps are compared to Holden McGill when he comes out of the pits.
Johnson still up in front. He showed how strong that car was in the first stage, kind of hung back in stage 2. But now when it counts the most with 35 laps to go next time by, he is back up in front yet again. There's Cofield. He's up to 3rd now. Good solid run for that driver. But boy, I'll tell you what, when the 38 got into the lead, he pulled away. Nobody can catch Johnson right now. There's the interval of these drivers. They're 2nd and 3rd coming off 4.
Yeah, and we saw that earlier, right? When Ryan stayed out on old tires, everybody else pit, and he pulled away to a 2.5 second lead, nearly. So whatever he's doing is working, and again, that's why I'm curious to see, what's Ryan's lap times compared to the guys that just pit. And I'm sure our fantastic producer is going to be able to pull that information for us, right?
There it is. There's the track map. There's what I was describing a moment ago, and there you see the leader in the orange car. There, he's right there. You just passed him, and there's 2nd place right there. So the orange car, just that little glimpse of the orange car. As more cars coming down pit road.
Yeah, Holden McGill would be the first guy that hit pit road. So, if we see what his lap times, so he ran a 30.46. And if we could see what the lap time compared to Ryan Johnson is, 31.9. So it's a little over a second difference. And now we're starting to get some other leaders coming down.
Ryan Johnson continuing to be up in front, continuing to lead the way. There goes the 48. Rondeletto now on the pit lane. Money stops continuing for Castile and Jacob Reed now also on pit road.
Well, I tell you what, Wesley. You're looking at when he pit. I mean, it's about 32 laps to be able to make it to the end. So it's still going to be close.
And now he comes down pit road. Another host of drivers in. The leader is in as well. McConey, Lyons, Rondeletto, Lamperti, McGill.
So
all these guys coming down pit road here now.
Yeah, so now the race is going to see where does Ryan Johnson come out compared to Holden McGill. Right?
Weatherholt, correction. I think I said McGill. It's actually Weatherholt that came down pit road. But you're exactly right, though, Jason. Watching all these cars coming down to the pit lane, Greg McConey now going to be showed as a new leader. There's McGill. He'll cycle back around whenever the 12 comes in, who is pitting now, and Johnson's got a pit. Last time he did was on lap 86. We're on lap 120.
And Ryan's coming out now. Let's see where he cycles through. He's going to come out just in front of him. I mean, McGill may get right to his bumper, but if Ryan's on the track and up to speed, Ryan's going to run away with his, run away from him, and it looks like he's going to be able to do it. Heck of a job by Ryan Johnson.
Solid run right now. Right now, Jeffrey Johnson the second up in front. Now he's on pit road, and it cycles back around to Holden McGill to go to the lead whenever he comes off turn 4. So McGill, Bruce, Johnson, Bruce and Johnson, the new top 5 as they are right now. As you see the track map right there nestled with each other. And yes.
Yeah, so you see that 8.7 second difference. That's insane. So we're going to see how fast Ryan's going to be able to potentially, he's going to be able to cut that gap, right? Because, again, we talked about it earlier, these tires fall off lap after lap, and they start evening out about lap 15, lap 16. So, we'll see if Ryan's able to cut that down.
Holden McGill, Darren Bruce, Peyton Johnson. Darren Bruce up 26 spots. What a shot for him in the arm for the man in the second position.
Yeah, McGill came down pretty early, and we were talking about 30 to 32 laps, and he's going to have to make it 35 laps. Man, you talk about interesting right now. But he's got such a big lead that he could probably start saving a little fuel right now.
McGill, Bruce Johnson right now. That's your top 5, all in line, working their way back around the racetrack again. "25 laps remaining here when they come back to the line. This race nears the home stretch. 26 to go, actually."
Yeah, and watching the tracker, Ryan Johnson's not really made up any space. Oh, there's some contact.
Oh, contact, Lions, Limperty, they're not done. Limperty scampers away from the 91 to the 18.
Yeah, and that is, McGill does not want to hear anything going on, right? He doesn't want to hear any chatter on the radio about why'd you do that to me, what's going on. He wants this to be a green flag race.
What has happened in my life? What has happened? What is going on? Why did you bump me? Why did you hit me? All of this continues on here as McGill in the 21 continues to run away with it here. 25 laps to go. Look at now. Cofield just got around Rondeletto. And we got to wonder how much damage, Jason, might be on Lamperti's car, the Butcher, from the contact with Lyons a moment ago as well.
Yeah, and it wasn't too bad a contact. Again, these cars are pretty rigid. You got to get in the wall pretty good or get in the back somebody pretty good. But, yeah, it doesn't look like it's affecting them too bad.
This is the pass for now. 4th. Put Ryan Johnson up to 4th.
Yeah,
there he is, man on a mission, Jason.
Yeah, Ryan's gained about 1 3/4 seconds so far. So 23 to go, and it's going to be close. I don't know. But if we know one thing, that he knows how to get it done. But so does McGill, right? So, this is the battle of the Titans.
Laps winding down. It is McGill in the lead, but look who is in hot pursuit. By the way, We just mentioned this, 3 laps ago, Jason Morales? It was Ryan Johnson, almost 8 seconds back to the driver of McGill. He has now cut that to about 2.5 second interval gone. He's flying.
Yeah, and again, these tires fall off lap after lap, and there's so much speed you're carrying. I mean, when you're in the cockpit in the sim, and you're going through these turns, you hear these tires just screaming at you like, "Leave me alone! Stop!" It is so loud, So lap after lap, you're just scrubbing life off these things. And about lap 15, lap 20, that's when they kind of even out. So, Ryan knows I got to go now. Because he's got to get within about 2 seconds. With 10 to go to have a chance, by my calculations.
And we're closing in on the Premier Racing setups. 20 to go. Let's go side by side to thank our partner. Don't forget Nazra. Mentioning them and Premier Racing setups. Get 15% off of your order with Nazra at checkout on your little checkout code. And in addition to that, another 15% will also go back into the pocket of Nazra as well. So big thanks to them. And we roll into the finish of this one. Is right now it looks like Holden McGill, Darren Bruce, Ryan Johnson just got around Peyton Johnson, the season 1 champion, to move him to 3rd, and he is on a mission now. Listen to this. Ryan Johnson now 4 seconds back to Darren Bruce, only 3 seconds.
Yeah. He may get within that 2 second gap before I imagine, but again, 10 to 15 laps to go. If he's within 2 seconds, I mean, it's going to be one interesting race to the end. And the bigger part of that is there is cars stretched all around this track, so there's going to be lap traffic problems.
McGill in the lead. The question is, for how long? Because the number 38 is coming up fast on the field of the front row. 17 laps to go here at the DSR Electric 225, and you better strap in for the home stretch. And by the way, boy, I don't want to jinx anything at all, if you will, Jason, but we're going on close to about a 40-lap green flag run in this race as well.
Yeah, and I just talked about lap cars. There's only 15 cars on the lead lap, so if you're 15th, 14th, you're not going to let the leader go by easy, right? Because if, say you have an extra set of tires in the pit stops, if there's a late race caution that you can make up 10 spots in 3 laps. So the leader's not going to have an easy time getting around people. And yeah, Ryan is flying right now.
Flying Ryan, trying to get it done for sure.
So we said in that 15 to 10 lap window, he wants to be under 2 seconds. Right now we're coming to 15 to go, and he is 2.9 seconds.
McGill and Johnson Bruce right there. There you see, of course, the number 38. There's Ryan Johnson up in front, trying to run down Holden McGill. Their car is in sight. I'll just say that much.
God, you gotta love racing, don't you? You gotta love racing.
And that's for the lead up ahead. That's literally where McGill is. And McGill stuck on the bottom, battling these cars, and little by little, lap by lap, Ryan Johnson is getting quicker and quicker and quicker. Flies by the 69 easily, the 89 of Richie, actually.
Yeah, and again, as I mentioned, these guys are not going to want to go a lap down, easily.
Nope.
I mean, there's only, at this point, there's going to be 13, 14 guys on the lead lap. There ain't no way in hell you're going to let the leader go by easily. You're going to fight them.
Going to fight this as long as they can right now as we continue to see this taking place. We'll fight them in the beaches. We'll fight them in the plane. We'll fight them on the track. We'll fight them in the virtual world. And right now at Vegas, at Sim City, they're laying it all out. Time to place your bets, everybody. Put your chips in your That's on the line. Who's it going to be? Is right now Johnson is flying, gets around the lap machine of Brett Tucker. He now is beginning to run down McGill. 2 seconds the interval with 12 to go. He's got time there, Jason.
Yep, right there. That's what we said. In that 10 to 15 lap window, he wants to be within 2 seconds. So, man, this is making me look smart.
Can Johnson run down Holden McGill? That's the question. Closing in on 11 to go. Here, kitty, kitty, meow, meow, meow. 21, the 38 is saying.
Yeah, I mean, in one lap, we were at 12 to go when he passed the line at 2 seconds, and he's already cut that down to half a tenth, down the backstretch. He's going to be within pretty close to just over a tenth just in this lap. But again, catching him is one thing. Once you're behind a car, you get that air off your nose. Passing's a different thing. So, and these guys are race together clean. They're two very, very clean racers. But this is going to be, it's going to come close.
10 laps to go. There they are, and there they go, and he knows it.
And typically the second place car has got a hell of a lot easier time getting around lap cars than the leader does, right? These guys are already lapped down, so usually these guys are getting out of the way. And we see we're down to 1 point, we're under 1.2 seconds. He's going to be at a second gap with about 8 to go.
And the orange 38 running down. There's the interval. There it is. By the way, it's 1 second now. We're at 8 laps to go. So as we close into the home stretch of this race, logistically, Ryan Johnson has ran down the 21. The question is, though, Jason, can he get around the 21? It is one thing to pass somebody, it is another thing to run them down. He's ran them down, but now can he get around them? That's the question.
Yeah, and I imagine that the lap cars would be easier to pass, but honestly, he's kind of running in a bad spot. Oh, yep.
Wow, McGill is on pit road. He could not go the distance. I
thought that he came down a little bit too early. And he was probably banking on a caution to come in, but there's a lot of things that come in play, right? There's a slider that we have when we hit the pits in this series that tells you how much fuel to put in. Do you want a 1 lap margin? Do you want just to get to the end, a 5 lap margin? So you never know. The margin could have been wrong, and the fuel sometimes comes up short. So we've been focused so much on Ryan Johnson, but Cofield is actually catching Ryan Johnson right now.
Johnson up in front. Johnson up in front. Obviously, we did not realize how much fuel and tires the 21 of McGill, and let's say it's more pretty much less not fuel. It was tires, not tires. It was fuel that he used up in that car. He had to pit. He had no choice, Jason. With 5 to go, he had to pit.
And how many other guys? We saw a lot of guys come down pit road when he came down, right? So how many other guys that are up here right now are in that same situation?
Johnson continuing to hit his marks. Look at him side by side, battles along the lap machine. Your stage 1 winner gets around Johnson. Your stage 1 winner. The man that obviously put himself in contention to lock this up. Here he is. By the way, let's see the schedule or the winners of the races so far this year. Ryan Johnson has already won. Remember, he won at Auto Club. Hence the idea. Remember I talked about statistically, these types of racetracks, Jason Morales, he does really well at. Look at Auto Club. Look at Las Vegas. Minus
he got
half
the
a
wall.
mile. They look just the same.
Yeah, and these are fast tire management tracks, you know, and it takes a lot of discipline.
Here they come to the line.
And if he holds on to this thing,
in front, but here comes Cofield though. Don't count out Cofield though, Jason. We've seen how damn good he's got lately.
Yeah, and Cofield is a very, very good runner, good driver, you know, and you know, it's showing tonight. You know, he's been up here all night long.
Johnson, Cofield, Rondeletto, Lamperti, Weatherholt, your top 5, and they are not backing down. Don't count out Cofield. Cofield could come and spoil the party. Oh boy, oh boy.
And if Ryan holds on to this thing, you're talking about an impressive run. He has dominated this whole race. That the moments he's gone back in the field, he's been able to come back and go right back to the front. You know, just a great run. And you know, this is going to put, as he comes across the line, Highline Racing, four wins out of the 5 races.
Checkered flag will fly, and look at this. Easy domination. It is easily going to go to Ryan Johnson. Yes, did he have some company from Jonathan Cofield? He did. But honestly, Jason, that car, that 38 with the tiny horse, it was in a totally different world than anybody else. And he goes on to win here. By the way, can I say this? The last 60 laps of the race went caution-free.
Yeah, great race. You know, there was some cautions, you know, here and there sprinkled through the race, but fantastic race. And let me see, he may not even have a scratch except for that little wall he hit at the end of the race, but great race by Ryan Johnson. And we're gonna do our reverse victory lap.
I love it.
It's only he does.
Listen, sir, I love how he does that, right? He's going to go the entire lap in reverse down into turn number 1. The celebration is on for the Salem, Wisconsin driver, Ryan Johnson, in that beautiful looking race car, man. I love that race car. Time of race, almost an hour and 40 minutes when it was all said and done. And of course, there is the results, as we can still see Ryan Johnson celebrating in the background. He wins his 2nd win this year. He won at Auto Club. Jonathan Cofield 2nd. The Butcher and the Showman will have to settle for 3rd and 4th. Weatherholt top 5. McConey, Reeves, Newton Reeves, Johnson McGill top 10. By the way, only 8 cars. Jacob Reeves on the lead lap when this race ended. Everyone else a lap down or more. And Jason, who are some other guys you're seeing here in the rundown to the top 18, top 20?
Yeah, and we saw Holden McGill, you know, have to pit there and finish in 10th. Darren Bruce in 11th. Pole 12th. Peyton Johnson 13th. Bruce in 14th. McCalligan 15th. Bo Tiffany 16th. Cutzilla in 17th. Michael Lurch 18th. 20th for Lucas Lyons, 20th Austin Evie.
There you see the rest of the rundown. Yes, sir. And everyone else, multiple lap down or more. Remember that first 1 or 2 stages is when we really had a lot of caution-filled moments. But when it's all said and done, look at Ryan Johnson. He'll burn it down. Hey, we're going to grab the top 3. When we come back from Vegas, we're going to get off the air quickly as well. Got a lot going on this Tuesday night in America. We'll stay with you and grab the tiny horse. Next, he wins the NASRA. Blanchard's towing DSR Electric 225 from Las Vegas. Stay tuned. Post race and victory lane. The tiny horse does it. Stage 1 winner, checkered flag winner, Ryan Johnson. What a beautiful looking race car, as I mentioned. And hey, man, your second win of the season. Congratulations, bud.
Yeah, man. Woo!
And we can put him on camera. Remember, he's on camera. He's a camera guy, too. So look at the camera and smile. There you go.
Yeah, we got another one. Man, I didn't know if it was going to work. We had a couple cautions tonight, but overall it seemed like a really clean race. I got off strategy, and I didn't know if we would keep having cautions there, like kind of past the halfway point. Me and Colin kind of split, and we attacked two different strategies with one team, and it worked out. Man, the car felt really good. It was pretty wild with like the temperature changes tonight. It really changed the way the car drove, in my opinion. But once I found my line again, it just felt good. The car felt fast and really racy.
Yeah, Ryan, kind of the number I was talking about was, you needed to get within about 2 seconds with, between 10 to 15 laps to go. Looking at the lap times, was that something you were thinking about? Like you had a target to get to a certain distance by race end?
With fuel, our estimated was around like 117 to 120. Was going to be kind of the range you wanted to pit for that last stop. And I saw a bunch of people like Holden and a couple other guys. They came down around, I think it was like 112. And me and Colin and Greg were talking, and we're like, man, it's too early to pit. I don't know if they're going to make it. Like that seems just like, too far of a stretch. But yeah, fortunately enough for us, it didn't work out for them. It sucks for them because, I mean, a lot of these guys are, really fast and great competition. But yeah, around 117 to 120, I'd say was my my goal there.
And in closing, thank your sponsors. I'll tell you this much, Jason, as well. It looked like your car looked really, really good on the green flag runs. Yeah,
the car felt great. I was trying to save a little tire at the beginning of the run, and it just made it come alive through the rest of it. But I got to thank Brady and everyone at NASRA putting this league on. You guys for broadcasting, my team at Highline, my teammates, Colin, Greg, Josh. Hopefully, I think I'm forgetting somebody.
No, don't worry about it.
I'm sorry. But yeah, family, friends, everybody tuning in and watching, and all the drivers for a really good race tonight.
There you go. There's Jason Morales, of course, grabbing the interview with myself, also with Ryan Johnson. He wins second race win of the year. Let's go down to second place now and grab Jonathan Cofield. Jonathan, another solid finish for the Mumford, Alabama driver, man. You look really, really good. Just kind of ran out of time. If this was 160 laps, you think you could have got around the 38? Could he use his tires up?
I don't know. Like a lap car was up there, was giving him a little hard time, which allowed me to catch him. Don't know really what was going on up there, but a little bit of beef maybe. But I don't know. I'm not a big one to practice. I come in about 15 minutes before the session or 20 and try to throw down a qualifying lap. But I learned a lot through the race. Everybody was real clean. Really had some hard racing up front. A lot of fast guys in here. Congrats to Ryan on his win. Had a good time though. Really surprised I'd done as good as I did here. It's not really my favorite track.
Jason.
Yeah. And Jonathan, kind of a quiet night over. I mean, you kind of just lurked there for a while, and then came alive at the end of the race. What made you just kind of pop out of nowhere, if you will, and just show your strength here at the end?
Probably green flag run. I'm not the quickest on new tires. I like to kind of just lurk back and save my stuff, and pick them off one at a time. But this track was pretty hard to pass. I know you'd get a run on a guy and he'd stay on your outside for a lap and a half or maybe 2 laps. Really hard to pass. Didn't really want to jump up to the high line to pass anybody to wear my tires out. So just trying to creep along the bottom. It was really loose off of 4 on the bottom. just trying to be easy with the throttle and not spin them up.
Well, buddy, before we let you go, Jonathan, thank your sponsors, bud. Thanks.
Yeah, man, I want to thank DSR Electric for sponsoring the race. Everybody in the league, Nazareth for doing the broadcast. Co-Field's Pine Service got them on the car. Co-Field Asphalt Refinishing, SM Racing Products. If you ain't got a button box, go check those guys out. Use code Bandits1 at checkout to save you a little money.
There you go. There's the thoughts of Cofield. He'll finish second. Octavio Rondeletto, our Argentinian driver friend, will finish third of the 48. And I'll tell you what, Octavio, another solid podium finish for you and the Butcher in the top 5, sir.
Hi, Wesley. Hi, Jason.
Hey, buddy.
Ian. Wow, yeah. The race was pretty hard, honestly. I was struggling with my tires, especially because I had a netcode contact, sadly. And my right rear was a little broke. But I did a good job maintaining the pace, trying to stay in the outside line. I like more the outside line, especially here. I think that was the key for me to maintain the pace and finish third because I was losing too much in the inside.
Yeah, gran trabajo esta noche. Great job tonight. You know, we were talking about it through the broadcast that you were really the only guy running the high side like that. So, were you surprised that nobody else was up there on the top side with you?
Gracias. Yes, I'm surprised anybody tried it. I was thinking about a even higher line. I don't know if in 3 and 4. In 3 and 4 I was losing too much, but in the 1-2 it was pretty helpful, especially because I was away of that bumpy inside line that was complicating me. My G29, my steering wheel is dying, so I'm not feeling anything in the force feedback. It's easier for me if I run in a not bumpy line here. So yes, I'm surprised about it.
I'll tell you what, buddy, before we let you go, we'll let you thank your sponsors. But, man, it seems like you're getting better and better week in, week out racing with these Nazareth guys. How much fun you having?
Yeah, I had fun. I'm sad for that 2 netcodes. Really sad. That finished pretty bad. Yes, let's see how is it going in Talladega. I'm not a big fan of Super Speedway. I like road course, and we have one at Sonoma. Let's see what happens in Talladega, and if you give me the space, I want to say thank to all my family there watching the race. Sure. My sponsor, hjaussies.com, Flaming Karma Paint Shop, Flaming Karma Racing, my teammates, and Jerry Poole for everything.
Always great hearing from our buddy from Argentina there. Of course, the showman, Octavio Rondeletto. Talladega, he just hinted on it. That's where we're going next week, Super Speedway Racing. It will be a wild one. Of course, now Ryan Johnson with 2 wins on the season. Everyone else with wins, including also Colin Weatherholt. Right now, it's been a Weatherholt-Johnson season. Holden McGill's got a win at Pocono, and right now, those 3 drivers are the only drivers either winning double races, chasing and closing, or they're putting themselves in the playoffs. But we know Talladega will be a wild card next Tuesday night, sir.
Absolutely. You never know what's going to happen at Talladega. It could be any driver that suits up and joins that field. It's going to be like it always is. It's Talladega. See what happens, and just say your prayers in the morning, and maybe you're the lucky one that comes out of it.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you and yours for joining us for the Nazareth 360 Racing Network coverage of the DSR Electric 225 for the Nazareth Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. Next week, Talladega. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Nazareth Cup Series at Kansas. We're going to Richmond for the Goat Locker race in Arca Thunder, and the playoffs for Season 9 for the C.O.P.S trucks will be, of course, at Chicagoland. For everybody at Nazareth, when it's all said and done, big thanks to Mr. J.R. Moore, the race director, for Mr. Brady LaBeouf, and Cody Knott from Nazareth for producer-director Biggles Dean Hopton, Jason Morales. This is Wesley Outland. Thank you to you and yours for joining us tonight. Congrats. Ryan Johnson, there you see him coming down to the line, taking the checkered flag. His second win gets it done tonight here at Vegas. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week